The final concept we're going to look at for this unit at the moment is reverse bearings. And the reverse bearings is just the bearing to get back to where you came from. So let's have a look. So if I were to ask you to find the bearing of A from B, you would need to connect those lines, connect those dots with a line. You would need to place the center of your protractor on point A and orient the top of the protractor or 0 degrees with true north. And then you would read clockwise to take note of the bearing. So it's 218 degrees true. So we say that B is 218 degrees true from A. The reverse though is, how do we get the bearing of A from B? So this is what we call the reverse bearing. So step one, we just place our protractor on point B, orient 0 degrees to be true north, and then we're going to need to read clockwise and take note of the bearing. In that case, it's 38 degrees from here to here. So it's important to notice that reverse bearings are always 180 degrees difference. And you can see here that the reverse of 218 is 38. So we can draw the line through the center of the protractor, but it's just as easy to add or minus 180 degrees as we need to. So let's have a look at the green line. So here we have a bearing of 70 degrees. Let's see if I've got a pen that works better. So 70 degrees. Now I could just say 70 plus 180 is 250. And yeah, I can prove that right. And so yes, that is 250. Now what happens if I've got a big number like 295 degrees. So let's find this one. Here's 295 degrees. And I plus 180. Well, it's going to be having to read all over there, and it's going to go past 360. So what we need to think about is just minusing 180. So on this side over here, on the left hand side of the protractor, if our first bearing is bigger than 180 degrees, we're going to minus to get the reverse. But if we're on the right hand side of the protractor, we're going to plus to get the reverse bearing. So let's have a look at some examples. A vessel sights a lighthouse on a bearing of 55 degrees. What is the bearing of the vessel from the lighthouse? So, well, we notice that it's on the right hand side of the protractor. It's less than 180. So to find the reverse, we just need to say 55 degrees plus 180 degrees, and that's 235 degrees. The next one is a sailor sights a mobile phone tower on a bearing of 185 degrees. What is the bearing of the vessel from the lighthouse? Well, we could say 185 plus 180 degrees. Well, that's really 365, and our protractor only goes up to 360. So that makes no sense. So what we're going to think is, well, our 185 degrees, that's on the left-hand side of the protractor. So we are going to minus 180 to get the reverse bearing. So we just say 185 degrees minus 180 degrees to get 5 degrees. Your turn now is to have a go at exercise 5E on page 272, please. The final example to look at is when we start to look at it on a map, of course. So if we have a look at the bearing of E from D. So I'm thinking, where is E? And I'm looking from D. So I am looking in that direction. So I need to read my true bearing starting at 0, reading down to 159 degrees. Now, to find the reverse of that, we know that 159 degrees is on the right hand side of the protractor, so we can plus 180 degrees, and the bearing of D from E, so looking back the other way, is 339 degrees.